Hey, Faithful, it's Jason from Voice of a Niner Faithful coming at you from Lake Mills, Wisconsin. As you can see, I'm at the beach here at the lake. Thought I'd give a little bit of a 49er talk from a nicer view than my normal room. Today we'll talk a little bit about pretty much everything that's been happening in the past couple of weeks. Start out with Nick Martin, linebacker Nick Martin, rookie. He broke his thumb while weightlifting. Well, those things do happen. It's not a detriment or anything to the team. It's not a detriment to him, for that matter. It's not going to affect his play. He'll be ready for the season. He'll be ready even for training camp. Even if they have to put a big club on his hand. People have played through worse. So I don't anticipate any issues there. The next thing I'd like to chat about is why we didn't sign Jaire Alexander. And I would have to say probably because of his injury past. I mean, as much as we probably would have liked to have kept some of the other players that we let go, a lot of them were let go because of possible, their recurring injuries and whatnot. So getting Jaire Alexander with his recent past, the past couple of years, it just wouldn't have made sense for the team. And I think he would have cost us too much. Yeah, I think the Ravens got a decent deal on picking him up, but I still think I don't think they're going to get what they're paying for. I don't think they're going to get their money's worth. I hope they do. I don't wish anything bad to any player that was injured. I always like to see players come back from injury fully healthy and participate and do everything that they can for their teams, whatnot. I don't care what team they're from, or but I just don't. I don't see it happening, and I think it's good that the Ravens only did a 1-year deal. They didn't do a multiple-year deal. So we'll see how that goes. Another person who is on our team, wide receiver Robinson, I think his issue with the whole we're still waiting. We're still waiting on figuring out if he's going to get suspended or not, how many games. If anybody knows this, if anybody can give me some clues why it takes the NFL so long to come down with some sort of disciplinary action. This his DUI came in December. Why can't the NFL have already said, all right, you're getting this much, and then he can come back and do his appeal, which I'm assuming is what's happening, is why it's taken so long, is appeals. But this is a little excessive, I think. It shouldn't take this long. We need to know if we're going to have him for the first game of the season. Now, what will work better for us? Yeah, fine. If he's going to get suspended, let him get suspended. But what would work great for us, I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know, is if he gets suspended after Aiyuk comes back. So let Aiyuk. My guess is Aiyuk is going to be on the PUP list for the first 4 weeks of the regular season, just to be safe with him. So if we can have Robinson for the first 4 games, let him get suspended then, finally, because if the NFL's taking this long, they can take a little bit longer. And then with Aiyuk back, I don't think we're going to miss a beat. I don't think we're going to miss a beat either way, to be honest with you. I think with our other core people that are still on the team, Kittle, Juszczyk, John Jennings, Christian McCaffrey, Isaac Rendo, so on. I can keep going. I think we have plenty of people that are going to be able to get us through the first 4 to 5 weeks without any issue. I think personally, here's prediction: first game of the season against Seattle, we're gonna kill them. We're gonna dominate. Everyone's gonna be so pumped. We're gonna dominate in Seattle. I wish I could go. But it's hard to see. It's hard to go to games unless they're close by me here in Wisconsin. Closest game I can, like this year, on the plus side, I was able to go to the draft because it was here in Wisconsin. But the closest game to me this year is probably Indianapolis. So I'm hoping to pull that one off at least. I'm thinking of going by train even. Train sounds pretty fun. So we're hoping to do that. My wife is a Bears fan, so we would love if we could scrape together the money somehow, some way to go to my first game at Levi Stadium the 28th of December to watch the Bears and Niners at Levi's. That'd be awesome. But let's get back to the update here. Robinson is it's mind-boggling. Let me know what you guys think about that. Why it's taken so long. What you think the suspension will be? I think it'll be a 3-game suspension. Maybe it'll be less. Who knows? It's taken a long time. Hopefully, we can figure out some alternatives until then. I'm sure we can. We got, like I said, all the people I named are plenty of people to cover until then. And because it's such a light season, as in supposedly easy schedule, you know how that can turn around. But I think it's going to work out in our favor. So, with that said, let's move on to the next subject. All right, other news. Got 2 joint practices during the preseason. Broncos and the Raiders. Raiders, we have a little familiarity with. I'm saying that goofy, I know. With the coach, I think we all know who that is. And the Broncos, of course, with Hufanga and Greenlaw over there. I think that one will actually be more fun for the team, just because I don't think the team doesn't hold any animosity toward these our former players. Shoot, if I'd still love Greenlaw, and I still love Huff. I thought he was great. So I think that one will be more entertaining. It'll be good for the 49ers to see their former teammates and see how well they're doing, and get those critical practices in against another team. Even the Raiders, I think that'll be an interesting one there too, with Gino down there. I think any practices against another team before the beginning of the season is going to help all of our rookies, and we're going to have a lot of rookies. I think we're keeping a lot of them. A lot of them are going to stay on the 53-man roster, and it's going to turn out really well for them because of those 2 practices. I think I'm not going to make any predictions yet for who's going to stay on the 53-man roster. I'll do that as we get closer, probably during training camp, but before the beginning of the first preseason game, I'll come out and I'll say, all right, this is my 53-man roster guess, and we'll see how well it turns out. I mean, most of it's easy to guess. I mean, obviously, Brock Purdy is going to be quarterback. Obviously, George Kittle is going to be tight end, and so on and so forth. We know a decent amount of them, but which rookies are going to make it? Which of the anybody else that we've signed, when are they going to make it? We'll see. Is Jake Moody going to make it? But I think these joint practices are really a good way for those rookies to see another team, because practicing against your own team is one thing. Practicing against another team is so much more. There's so much more learning experience to get there. So I think it's going to be better for them. I think it's going to be better for the team, especially since there's 2. Usually, I think there's usually only 1, but I think with 2 joint practices, I think this is going to work out better for our team. Speaking of joint practices and training camp and preseason, July 15th is when the training camp begins for rookies, and 22nd for everybody else. I'm looking forward to that. A lot more to be able to talk about. This is the slowest part of the off season between the regular off season program and training camp, the whopping 40 days, which is a lot less. One of the things I see on social media in general is all these people saying, "Oh, it's this many days until the start of the season." Personally, I don't count that. I count beginning of training camp, because that's when we're going to start seeing pads on, good practices, preseason starting. That's football for me. I don't need to wait for the beginning of, first game of the season is going to be awesome. But for me, I don't need to do the countdown to that. I'll do the countdown to July 15th for the rookies. So that, to me, is less than a month. Less than 30 days. So let's go Niners. Let's go football. Let's go everything. And hopefully everyone's having a really good evening, just like I am here in the sun at the beach. Yeah, I hit the water once, but water's still pretty darn cold in this lake. But still having a good time. So another thing happening is Tight End University. That's one of the good things about this little 40-day break, is that George Kittle and other tight ends are going to be hosting Tight End University again this year. I think this is year 5. And as far as I understand, things I've heard about it, the normal, hey, let's teach these tight ends, especially the younger guys, hey, this is some good stuff you can do as tight end and that sort of thing. Basically what it is, Tight End University. But they're also going to have like a concert, like 10 different country artists, if I understand correctly. There's going to be the golf outing. They're going to go golfing. I don't know. I've never golfed before, so I couldn't say if that's any fun or not. And of course, just the camaraderie between the tight ends. One of the other things that George Kittle wants to do is try to get all tight ends, not just himself, because he just got paid, but all tight ends paid better. And he's going to be talking about that at Tight End University, and hopefully he can get that done for tight ends all over. And I think that's a good thing. I think tight ends are underpaid. They do so much. They know so much. They know all the routes. They know how to block. So the more they can get, the better. And I think it would be well deserved. All right, Faithful, now that you can see that I'm back home, I'm going to continue on. The next subject is training camp. We got the dates for those now. Rookies are reporting on July 15th. And the veterans are going to report July 22nd. They're Tuesdays. Kind of weird. I guess they want to give them a long weekend before it. But there they are. I think with that being less than a month away, that's the official time for me that football starts. So I don't need to wait for the first game of the season to say that football starts. This is, for me, football starts. I'm going to say the 22nd. Yeah, rookies get there on the 15th, but everybody's there on the 22nd. So still less than a month away. It's awesome. Another thing that has been happening, the joint practices during the preseason are going to be happening. On August 7th, they're hosting the Denver Broncos. And on August 14th, they're visiting the Raiders in Nevada, Henderson, Nevada. I think both of those will be definitely the big thing. I mentioned this earlier. I think this is going to be awesome for the players. But those are the actual dates. Right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the newest Brandon Ayuk post that everyone seems to be misinterpreting. At least to me, they're misinterpreting it. Everyone seems to think he's pissed off at the 49ers again. This couldn't be further from the truth. I'm gonna read it. They were talking about trading me while I was off I can't even pronounce that. Muscle relaxers and peeing in a cup on my by my bed. Couldn't walk for 10 weeks. Ain't nobody trading for me. And then he has the laughing emoji and the skull emoji. He's not talking about the 49ers saying that they're going to trade him. He's talking about all the media out there speculating on the 49ers trading him. It's not the 49ers he's pissed at. He's pissed at all the media people saying that they were going to try to trade him. And it's obvious, like he's saying. No one's going to trade for him like that. That's ridiculous. That's what he's saying. This is nothing to do with him being pissed at the Niners. He's being pissed at the media. And that's completely understandable. I think this has been blown up because it's something to talk about during the off season, during the slow period, the 40 days off. And he puts this out there. Yeah, he could have worded it a little bit differently to try to make it more understandable for us old folk, maybe. I don't know. But I read it as I just said it. He's not pissed at the 49ers. He's pissed at the media. So take it as you're gonna, but that's my perception on this post. He's not pissed at the Niners at all. All right, let's end on that. I think we'll bring up a nice ending picture. And let me see if I can find it here. There it is right there. Little picture of Tight End University. And haven't done this in a while, so I have to try and remember how to do that. Transition. Where's my transition button? There it is. Okay. And it didn't transition. Why didn't it transition? I saw the thing. Side screen? There. Let's try that. Okay. There we go. Hopefully you see that. Good picture with Kittle and Travis and everybody's wives. And I think they should have had more people in here than just 3 tight ends and their significant others, but these are the top 3 guys. So ended on that. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll try to get as we're getting closer and as we are training camp's coming, the season's coming. I'll be doing these back to once a week soon, so look for that. And of course look for my 49ers Trivia Thursdays. I'm finishing this up on a Wednesday, so tomorrow there'll be another one. Hopefully I'll have this out by then, and I got to do some adjusting and video editing and all that fun stuff. So you guys all have a great week, great weekend, and go Niners.